What is up, Steeler Nation? We are getting ready for an AFC North showdown. I am JY. You are tuned into a sick media production, Steelers Crazy. I am here with the Sports Almanac himself, the smartest man in Pittsburgh sports, Michael Nicastro. He's way too humble. The man is Mr. Tweets. How are you today? You ready to talk some Steeler football? And we're going to switch it up and give some of our picks on this episode.
Mr. Tweets, I like that a lot. Oh, man, I got people in my DMs today and my ats that think they are Mr. Tweets. I'll let the rest of the Steelers Twitter determine who that may be. I'll say his initials are double M. Anyway, good for him. He likes helping us out a little bit. Nice guy. I'm sure got a really good heart on him at the end of the day. Yeah, man, I'm excited. We got AFC North football. The Steelers game was flexed. It was an 8:30 game. Now it's a 4:30 game. We're happy.
I'm glad, man, because I'm in bed by like 8 o'clock every night, so now I can enjoy it. I got my queso ready. I'm ready to go.
I'm not ready to stay up till midnight anymore at this age, so I feel like this is a blessing in disguise. 4:30 is a really good time, and it's going to be cold in the Berg. Snow potentially in the forecast, so we'll see if that favors the Steelers.
All right, well, Sammy, let's get to it. Let's see that intro, and let's talk some Steelers crazy football. Let's go.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Harris Smith shields. Flacco Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
And hopefully we aren't sick come Sunday, but I think the Steelers are trending in the right direction. So we'll jump right into it. AFC North football. We have the Cincinnati Bengals coming to Acrisure Stadium. I think the biggest thing is that people want to see the progression of Kenny Pickett. As I alluded to on Twitter almost every day, that Rome was not built in a day, and Steeler fans need to chill out, because if you look at a lot of the other great quarterback stats, and it's early in his career, they didn't fare too well. People like Josh Allen and some others, and they turned out to be all right. So with that being said, throw the records out of the window when it comes to AFC North ball. Just give us, kind of your take. I know you tweeted something earlier about you think the Steelers are going to take this. I totally agree. I'm not being a homer. I just think that with TJ Watt back and the offense clicking, I think honestly, I was mad at the Claypool trade, but right now I'm kind of liking it because I think it's going to help elevate George Pickens to a superstar receiver in the NFL and help the Steelers turn this ship around, or at least, play some competitive ball. So go ahead. Let's talk. Give us your preview and some of your takes on the Cincinnati Bengals coming to town.
Yeah, man. Pickens is taking flight already. Last game was a bit strange for him. I thought he would score a touchdown in the air. He did score a touchdown, but he ran one in on one of those the patented end arounds, jet sweeps. We usually saw Claypool in that role, and Pickens showed that he can fit right in there. I don't know. I woke up with one of those feelings where I just had an interesting vibe about this game on Sunday. TJ Watt is back for the Steelers. Jamar Chase is out for the Bengals. Those are two absolutely critical factors in this thing. We saw the Steelers go into Cincinnati in week 1, beat the Bengals. That was one of the craziest games we've ever seen. Bengals had like 17 turnovers. TJ Watt intercepted the first pass of Joe Burrow's season, took it back for a touchdown.
But he had 4 interceptions that game, right?
4 interceptions, man. It was crazy. Cam Sutton stepped up. He was everywhere. Minka, of course, doing Minka things. Hopefully we see him this Sunday. That would go a long way.
Yeah. According to our guy, Robert Spillane, it seems like he's going to be out there.
Seems like he's going to be out there.
He said he was the toughest Steeler on the team rather than Chris Wormley. So
rather than Big Worm. He practiced today, bro. I was joking on Twitter, and I threw it out to Worm and Spillane the other night. If you missed it, that it reminds me of that episode of The Office where Dwight got an emergency appendectomy, and then he left the hospital to go back to work and give a presentation, and he just had his bag of blood next to him, blood leaking through his shirt. That feels like a Minka thing to do.
I think if he could do it, I think that Minka, you can count on him to play.
Yeah, we'll see Dwight Schrute's toughness versus Minka Fitzpatrick's toughness. Dwight's a pretty tough guy, though. He got a lot of crap from kids throughout the years, and he survived it. But anyway, man, I think those elements are huge. Literally the elements are going to be a factor. I'm not sure who they favor. Both teams run the ball well. It's not like playing in Cincinnati isn't any different weather-wise than playing in Pittsburgh. But I think what has me kind of intrigued is the point spread of this game. The Bengals aren't a huge favorite. Last I saw, they're 4.5, around 5-point favorite. I'm not sure if the Sharps have moved that around at all, but that tells me Vegas thinks this Steelers team has improved, right? A couple weeks back against the Bucs at home, I know it was without TJ Watt, they were a 10-point favorite, 10.5-point favorite, one of the biggest favorites we've ever seen come into Heinz Field, and that Bucs team is not
Acrisure.
elite.
I'm gonna put like a jar, like a swear jar. I know.
I'm gonna put a nickel in it every single time, and you're gonna
be able to go on vacation by the middle of the year.
Dude, you're gonna be a millionaire in like 2 damn weeks. I don't care anymore. It's just Heinz Field from now on, unless Acrisure comes on and sues.
Well, they did bring back, in your defense, they did bring back the Heinz Red Zone, but the ketchup bottles are on 28 heading south somewhere.
The good thing for Acrisure is every time I say Heinz Field, we correct it and say Acrisure about 11 more times. Yeah. So they're still getting more probably pub than they would if I just said Acrisure Stadium.
So if you're watching Acrisure Stadium, you're welcome.
I'll make it. Yeah, I'll make up for it. Acrisure Stadium, Acrisure Stadium, Acrisure Stadium. Wow, try saying that 6 times fast. I need a glass of water. But this point spread has me intrigued. It says the Steelers are going to hang in this game. Tells me that without Jamar Chase, the Bengals are kind of Jekyll and Hyde. Last time they played, they dropped 42 points on the Carolina Panthers at home. They had a bye this past week, but before that Panthers game, I think they only scored 13 points against the Browns. The Browns defense has been turd sandwich. So we'll see, man. It depends on what Bengals team we get. I think we'll get somewhere in between the Panthers game and that Browns game. But with TJ Watt back, dude, the Color Rush jerseys. You got a Color Rush jersey on right now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The Steelers, I think, are like 9-1. Don't quote me. We had a great article today on yinzercrazy.com. Jason Irwin wrote a top moments in Steelers Color Rush history, but they've only lost one game. I'm not sure how many wins they had. Maybe like 10-1. Maybe 7-1. There you go. It's a good win.
I actually just looked it up because that's usually what I do, and it said they were 7-1, and I said Joe Burrow will be back on a bus to Cincinnati by 7:30, 8 o'clock.
And then they'll be 8-1. I have a good feeling, man. It could change. Listen, I predicted them to win against the Saints. I predicted them to lose against the Eagles. I predicted them, I'm getting a little better, I should say, with my predictions. So I don't think this is erroneous whatsoever. They got a good chance and an even better chance if Minkah Fitzpatrick, Dwight Schrute plays on Sunday.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I was never really high on the Bengals. I think that last year, I don't want to call it a fluke because they made it to the Super Bowl. They did have an excellent team. But at the same time, it's just like the Steelers. I think the one year, I forget the year. Was it Super Bowl XL or when was it the Arizona Super Bowl? Anyways,
I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah. Anyways, is that they were a wild card and they won the Super Bowl. And what happened, I think, with the Bengals last year is they do have the talent. I mean, there's no denying that, but they got hot at the right time and just kind of rode that momentum into the Super Bowl. You see what's happening with the Rams right now, Super Bowl hangover. I think, the NFL is tough. People don't understand that. I think that we don't focus on that enough. I know that but it's like any given day. Like the Detroit Lions are going to win maybe 5 games this year, and no one probably would have thought that. So it's just like it's any given Sunday. Yeah, I mean, it's just you're always going to have those games, and then you look at the Commanders. They just beat the undefeated Eagles, so it's
right.
The NFL is literally any given Sunday. I mean, college is the same way, but if a team's playing, FCS 1 school, you know that they're probably going to put up, if it's Alabama, they're going to put up 72 points, and their third string quarterback's going to be in the NFL. It's next man up mentality. Kind of just like we talked to Robert Spillane on the Chris Wormley and Friends show. Also, make sure you subscribe to us. And before we do our sick pick segment, I just want to shout out everyone all over the world that listens and tunes into us. If I forget someone, I'm sorry. Austria, Italy, Brazil, Germany, just everywhere. Canada. I mean, we really it is insane. And I think I said this on a previous podcast before. The Cowboys can be America's team. The Steelers, the turf. That's the world turf. That's us, baby. So
The world's team. Get out that globe, circle it around. Yeah,
I
for
do.
sure.
I actually just bought a globe. It's over
Nice.
there.
Yeah, you
But,
could teach your daughter a little bit of early geography at the age of 1 month.
Yes, here is Pittsburgh, PA, the greatest city in the world.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick because I'm fully with you on that Bengals take. We said it before the season. I'd like to really remind people that the Bengals went 10-7 last year. The same amount of losses as the Steelers had.
That's crazy.
Steelers went 9-7-1.
That's Steelers crazy.
10-7. That's Steelers crazy right there. You expect a Super Bowl team, like you said, maybe, people think 12, 13 win team, that Bengals team. No, they won 10 games. That put them right. If you want to call the Steelers average last season, yeah, the Bengals weren't so far off, I guess. They went on a run at the end of the year, got hot. They're a pretty damn good team, ultimately, still, with the weapons, Burrow mix in. Higgins, good defense with Hendrickson out there. But, yeah, they're not world beaters. They're not the Chiefs. They're not the Bills.
No.
I don't think they'll be in that category.
Like, you don't, think of the Bengals right now and, fear, playing like a team like
– not Josh Allen.
Right. That's, there's certain teams where you're like, okay, yeah, they have talent, but it's just like the Browns every year, how their whole entire fan base goes, you're good on paper. You're good on paper. It doesn't until you can have the a team of all pros, first ballot Hall of Famers. It doesn't matter because you are what your record is. The Steelers are what their record are. They might be a little bit better, but right now they're currently that's what they are. You are what your record is. You've seen it before when we went 11-0. So we know how that ended.
Maybe that team wasn't as good as that. I mean, it reminds me of the Eagles a little bit this year. They beat a lot of crap teams so far. They have a lot of good teams coming up. I think they're real, but we'll see.
And for all the couch quarterbacks out there that are criticizing Kenny Pickett, let me just say this, is that do you see the schedule that he was thrown into? Can you imagine being a rookie quarterback in playing the toughest teams in the NFL, Super Bowl contenders? Yep. And you'll see now, and I get it, you got to bring it every Sunday. It's the NFL. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, I think that this second half of the season will be less rocky. I think we've seen that with the Saints. I mean, 20 points. I don't think they're going to go out and put up 47 points. But this defense is good enough, especially with TJ Watt back and hopefully Minka, that defense wins championships. Pittsburgh has built their entire franchise on defense. Mike Tomlin, bringing on Brian Flores, just everyone, even the Dick LeBeau days. This is the Steelers. That defense wins championships. You don't need to go on a tangent about it. That's what it is. So with that being said, let's do the first black and gold sick picks of the NFL. Sammy, play that thing.
Sick picks.
All right, so yeah, literally.
Sick picks.
Make sure you subscribe down here. You can listen to us on we're not just on YouTube, we're everywhere. So wherever you get your podcast, we're going to be going all year round, bringing you the top reporters. We have the Chris Wormley and Friends show. So you never know who we're going to bring on. And we're doing this for Steeler Nation to give you guys an inside look into the locker room and give our takes, opinions, and news on Steeler football. So check out the ESPN, I guess, the sick updates, and give us a follow. Okay, so let's start off. We have Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. How do you feel about Amazon Prime? Do you like it?
Yeah, I only like it because my girlfriend's mom subscribes to it, and we're able to steal her password. If not, I would hate it.
Yeah,
it's one of the many streaming services that people can't have 37 streaming services. That's tough. Yeah.
So tonight we have our Tennessee Titans and Green Bay Packers in the point spread. So Green Bay -3.5. We'll just start with this because it's the game tonight and everyone's going to be watching it. And our friends over there in Sickville, I guess you can say, they're big Titan fans. So just tell us who you got. What do you think?
It sounds like it's some city that would be in the Grinch.
Whoville, Sickville. That's what Sickville, PA, right here, live. We're here.
That's good stuff. All right. I don't think that our friends in Sickville are going to love this prediction. I'm going to go with, they'll hold me to it, that's for sure, and I'd want them to either way. I'm going to go with the Titans to cover, okay, and the Packers.
Lock it in now. You heard it here first.
The Packers are going to win by a field goal. I'll go 20-14. 3-20
Wow.
Green Bay. The reason I'm taking them is because I think the Packers found a little bit of momentum last week against the Dallas Cowboys. That was a huge game for them, a season-saving game to get them to 4-6. They, came back from 28-14 deficit. Christian Watson really stepped up for Green Bay. The receivers are down. Randall Cobb is hurt. I know they just released Amari Rodgers. So I think a lot of confidence from that game rolls over. They're at home in Lambeau. The Titans are really good. I mean, they're a really good team. They were the number one team in the AFC last year.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. They were one of my Super Bowl
Yeah.
picks. I can literally see them going to the AFC Championship. Derrick Henry, I don't know how anyone can tackle that man.
Except Robert Spillane.
Yes, except Robert Spillane. So that's basically all it takes.
Yeah.
And
I think Tannehill being back is still huge. He's kind of getting in the rhythm again. Man, I won't be surprised one bit if Tennessee wins this game. Tennessee's either going to win by 2 touchdowns or they're going to lose by a field goal.
Is it weird to say this, but like this has always been a thing because we have our friend, a good friend from back in the day, TJ, who's a Packers fan. And I always said that like the Packers remind me of like the Steelers of the NFC, just like the nostalgic, the history, the tradition, the way that they run. And I feel like that the Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben are kind of relatable, simply because it's like when their backs against the wall, it's just like, as much as it irks me to say this, I would never bet against Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady when the season's on the line or when they need to get a win, because even if they're whatever their record is, I can't go against them, because those 2 quarterbacks are clutch, and I think that's why Green Bay has a chance to win. But if Derrick Henry and Tannehill finds his stuff early, it's a wrap.
Dude, the aura around Lambeau Field is sick. I can't lie. I respect it. It's literally a stadium right in the middle of a community. Like, I've never been there, but a lot of people don't realize that. It would be like if you threw a stadium in Castle Shannon, like put it right there, bro. Like they're surrounding it are houses where people live. Right.
They charge them for season tickets like the Cubs. You know how you've been to Wrigley where they have like the up top.
I don't know because they're lower and it's like a bowl. But what they do is the people that live around it charge people for parking.
Oh my gosh!
You literally go to the game and you park at like Bob's house.
Here's $45, Bob.
And you give them $75.
Bob from Coriopolis.
I mean, you take the good with the bad. I'm sure it's crazy, whenever they're playing, you can't really, go to the grocery store, but crap, you're right there. Team's in your backyard. Plus, fans are allowed to invest and have shares in the team. It is cool. I can't lie. Like,
I think that's something that I always envied too about the University at Duke, is like how Cameron Indoor, where the student section, you can literally, if you wanted to like, pat the players on their head, you could do it. And I think that as long as you're acting accordingly, I think that you should give the fans the best experience, because in any live sports, NFL, NBA, NHL, tennis, it doesn't matter. I think that, the fans are what makes the game. And I think that anyone who loves the game will say that. I know, I think Robert Spillane on our last show must have said how, he's just honored to be a Steeler. And when we had Chris, when we did our live show with Chris last year, he was just like, you guys made me a Yinzer. And I'm like, your play on the field and your dedication in the community makes you a Yinzer. Sure. When you're on the field, that's just a plus. So we will jump right back into it. We're going to go with an AFC North. So we have Buffalo and Cleveland. Is that at Buffalo? Buffalo's -8.5.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are the Browns.
Let me throw this out there. Right now it's at Buffalo. This is interesting. I'm sure Sammy and Anello are familiar.
I didn't even know this.
They're kind of in the region. There's like 15 feet of snow headed to Buffalo.
Oh yeah, I did see that, but I didn't. What you're saying that they could switch it?
They're talking about moving it to a dome, like close by, like Minnesota. I'm not sure if Detroit plays, but I think Detroit might be open as well. I'm not sure. But Minnesota was the last I heard, because the NFL has the Bills playing on Thanksgiving next Thursday.
Okay.
So they're not going to cancel the game, or they're not going to move it to like Monday.
Yeah.
Because in that case, how do you pick up 2 days later? And they're playing I think the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So that's going to be an enormous game. So they're going to play.
That's literally why I love Thanksgiving. Cornbread and football. And the Lions and Cowboys are.
Yeah, the Bills are going to kick the Browns' ass. The Browns are going to be 3-7 before you know it, 3-8. Deshaun Watson, when he comes back, is not going to have a chance to put him even in playoff contention. Good. Wouldn't want it any other way. Our boy Adam.
I mean,
Ryan,
he hasn't been on the field in how long? It's kind of like the same thing, like with Le'Veon Bell. He thought he was going to come back and be refreshed, and we see how that works out. Unfortunately, he was an amazing back when he was with the Steelers. I mean, the Killer Bees were like, we should have won 10 Super Bowls, but I don't know what went on, but I still cherish those memories.
Adam Rant, host of another sick podcast with the Chicago Bears, told us at the beginning of the year the Browns would be in the cellar. Last place team don't have a chance, and he was right.
There you have it. All right. So we talked about the Cincinnati. Cincinnati's getting, what is that, -4? Wow. I would have thought that.
I told you. Yeah, it's a little closer than it appears. I'll give my prediction, and you can give yours.
Okay.
I'm going to go, man, I don't know what it is, just something in my gut. It's dangerous to go with your gut as a Steelers fan and a Steelers analyst, if you will. But I'm going with my gut. TJ Watt, color rush jerseys. It's going to be dark. It's going to be cold. Steeler fans are going to be lit because they got the win last week. And it's going to be a bunch of young people because you know who buys tickets to 8:30 Sunday night games? Young people who want to get drunk because I did that. Throughout my 20s. So even though it was moved to 425, the young people who bought tickets to the 8:30 games still are going to have tickets.
Man, I remember your send-off to South Florida.
Gila Cowboy is going to be on fire.
Oh, man.
McFadden's is going to be on fire. And I think the Steelers are going to come out on fire, carry some of that momentum from last week against the Saints, run the ball down the Bengals' throats, mix up some Najee, mix up some Jaylen Warren, allow Kenny Pickett to get comfortable early with some play action, and take advantage of the fact that the Bengals won't have Jamar Chase, double T Higgins out there. Tyler Boyd can beat you for sure, but Steelers usually have been pretty good against Higgins and Boyd. They struggled mightily against Chase week 1 and last season. So a lot more favors the Steelers than people think. I'm picking them. I don't care. Might make some people sick out there like it had when I tweeted it earlier. I'm taking the Steelers. Let's go 21. No Boswell, no field goals. 21-17.
And as crazy as this sounds, I'm going to go with, I think, the same score as the Saints game. I'm going to go Steelers 20-10. I just feel like that, again, TJ Watt's back on the field. I don't care. It's a team sport, but he helps the team come together. I guess you can say that. And I think any of his teammates will attest to that. As we alluded to on Tuesday with some of his teammates. But yeah, I mean, it's, mathematically we're still in it. The AFC North is the AFC North. We are still the kings of it. And we just have to let people know that we're here. Again, Steelers fans, you guys are all spoiled. We all like to bitch and bicker and cry, but at the end of the day, man, just watch the game and honestly, don't even get on Twitter, don't even get on your phone. Just enjoy the game and then evaluate it after, because some of the things, man, it's just like Kenny Pickett will be okay. Okay. Trust the process. That's all I got to say. Cause I just see so much, how many games has he even played? Like, I know it's not a full season, but like how many actually
at this point?
I mean,
Eagles,
like
Bills, half of the Bucs game, half of the Jets game.
Yeah.
Saints. So 4 total, I would say. 4 total.
So, I mean, to be thrown in the fire like that, I mean, there is obviously a lot of things that he needs to work on, but he's a professional. I think that he knows that, and I think that he will fix those. And he has the talent on offense. I think that we definitely need to get Pat Freiermuth more involved, because him and Gentry, even just two solid football players. And yeah, man, just get in the red zone and score points. We got to get in the touchdown, because I don't know when Boswell is going to be coming back, and it's been kind of shaky with the kicking game. And we know close games come down to kicking, and with the weather elements, and keep the ball in bounds on kickoffs, please. Football is a game of field position, and the Steelers need to win that, and they do that. Get the running game going, like you said. Passing game opens up. Kenny Pickett's out there looking like Mike Vick again. The Pigeons are back. The Steelers are 3-0, all thanks to the Pigeons. Joe Burrow's on a bus back, 7:30, 7:45 to Cincinnati. Might stop at the casino, might stop at McDonald's, but another loss coming, Joe. Sorry.
Love it. That's a great way to wrap this show, man. That's a perfect clip right there. I'm with you. I think the Steelers win. No homer pick here. I picked them to
You remember the Bengals game that we went to that we wanted to forget.
Yeah, they lost. It was early.
We got to tailgate with Jeff Reed and hang out with some friends that we haven't seen. But so let's hope. Let's hope that the outcome is better. We appreciate everyone for tuning in all over the world, and we truly do mean that. I think the most enjoyable thing about doing this with you, not only are you my best friend, and again, I even if I didn't know you, I would still say that you're one of the smartest, most intelligent football-minded people that I know. And I know you're humble, but the most important thing is we want to give the viewers, we want to give our listeners, and we just want to give Steeler Nation, this is for you at the end of the day, this information, the guests we bring on, the reporters we bring on, the giveaways that we do. So just make sure that you subscribe, and we're going to be going, for eternity. And we can't thank the Sick podcast enough, and we're excited for the future, man. And again, it's Here We Go Steelers. It doesn't matter the record, baby. It's Pittsburgh Steeler football. I'm JY. This is Mike. Another Steelers
Sick
crazy.
Bill.
Let's go beat
Sick
them
Bill.
Bengals. Color rush, baby. Let's do this. Sammy, we'll see you next week. I'm JY. This is Mike. This is Steelers Crazy. Another sick production. Press play, Sam.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.